All right, everybody, welcome in. This is the Stick and Hack program. We're Stick and Hack on air, and we are quite possibly the greatest golf show in the free world from the greatest golf club in the world without the course on the 8 Side Network, powered by iHeartRadio. I'm Adam Grubb, and that is Mike Ryan. Mike, that's a mouthful there that I just said. But at the end of that, this is Stick and Hack on air, and we are here, and that's really the only thing that people care about. Correct?
Absolutely. Very excited, man.
All right. Guest today is Dr. Jim Dalton, President and CEO of Damar Services. President and CEO is probably just the title. What he does, however, is astronomical. And when you think of over a 20-year career, his work and his team's work in their space, and we're going to talk about that in a second. He has made an impact on the development disability industry for many years. A licensed child psychologist, Dr. Dalton is highly regarded for his innovation in child behavioral health care. And why does that have to do with golf, Mike? Well, because we'll be talking about the true power of golf and how this sport that we love to hate has helped kids and helps adults throughout the United States. More with him in a minute. But first, the greatest par ever. Mike, now I know you know this story.
I do. I love it.
And this is one of those golf moments that you say only in golf, right? There likely isn't a more recognizable or more impactful friendship on the PGA Tour than 2018 Waste Management Phoenix Open champion Gary Woodland and his very good friend Amy Bockerstedt, who took the world by storm in 2019. Now, Woodland recalls that special day at the People's Open and how his relationship with Amy went from a 20-minute meet and greet to a lasting and powerful friendship. Now, for those of you who don't know, Amy got on, and the story will continue in a second, but Amy and Gary, it was basically just a meet and greet. Amy, who has Down syndrome and loves golf, was at the Waste Management Open and just wanted to meet Gary and was going to play a hole with him and walk with him on the famed 16th. Gary said, in this game, you get to do a lot of cool things and meet a lot of really cool people. Every week, you're playing pro-ams and you're meeting special people. There's been nobody during my time on the PGA Tour that has had more of a positive impact than Amy has. Now, Woodland recounted his experience at the 16th hole with Amy. A couple weeks before the event, he said, I was asked if I would play a hole with Amy, and I was excited to meet her and play the hole and spend the day with her for that 20 minutes it takes. Woodland said, 2.5 years later, I had no idea we would still be great friends today and talk regularly and stay in contact. That what has been so special about it, her impact, her attitude, her love for the game, and her love for life is contagious. I know I need it in my life, and I think the whole world, especially the way things are going right now, needs a whole lot more of Amy in it. Now, Woodland was nervous for himself, but he was super nervous for Amy. So Amy was going to play this hole in front of the raucous 16th crowd at that. I mean, talk about putting you right down hell's alley right there. That is, I couldn't do it.
No.
I don't know if I get it off the tee, Mike.
No, I know you wouldn't.
You know that.
I'd be lucky if I didn't shake it into the grandstand.
Right. I'd kill a person. There's no chance. So this is what he said. He said, I was more nervous for her that day than I was walking down the 18th hole in the playoff during the Phoenix Open or the 72nd hole at the U.S. Open. I was so nervous for her. It's an intimidating hole, and it's her first time playing in front of who knows how many thousands of fans on that Wednesday afternoon. I don't want to miss the green. She didn't want to miss the green, but she hit it into the bunker. And now this is now Amy saying, I kept saying I wanted to get out of the bunker. I wanted to get it going. She said, I got this. I got this. Now, it's a bunker shot on 16. This is Amy, who's not a professional golfer. She is in front of this huge crowd. She hits it into the bunker. I would have quit, thrown the bag down, gone home. She gets up and down for par on 16 and hit this miraculous, awesome putt. And the crowd goes wild. Gary goes wild. It is the most special moment. And it's on YouTube. I mean, check it out. We'll put it on Stick and Hack as well. It's unbelievable. It's just one of those incredible moments that golf brings you. Now, this was supposed to be, hey, a cool experience for Amy. She has now become a superstar and a hero to those that are trying to use golf or sports or athletics or anything to come out of their shell and to show that they can do anything that they want, no matter a disability or anything that might be looked at as a handicap. Amy said, not me. And now she still plays golf today. In fact, I think she even made a collegiate team, or her high school, a collegiate team. She's unbelievable. And she's such a great story. And we tell this today, Mike, because our guest today has a long history of watching kids and people like Amy excel in the most amazing ways, and probably wasn't as surprised as the rest of us with Amy's success that day and the way the world has watched in awe of her. We bring in to the program, the Stick and Hack on Air now, Dr. Jim Dalton. Jim, how are you, sir?
Great. It's an honor to be here for sure. By the way, my buddies are all jealous. And I'm actually on a podcast that's about golf. So that alone, it'll be a little bit about golf today. It's unbelievable to think they're like, no way, I've seen you play. And I'm like, no, I'm actually there. So
yeah. Now you didn't tell them the show because they probably wouldn't have been as impressed. But nonetheless, let me read your bio here. You have trained and practiced as a licensed pediatric psychologist. You've been serving at Damar for the past 20 years, with the past 13 years as the president and CEO. Specialty and expertise in developmental disabilities and autism in children, adolescents, and adults. You led the expansion of Damar services from a $9 million annual revenue operation in 2005 to nearly $100 million operation today. You serve nearly 1,500 individuals daily across a full continuum of services in various parts of Indiana and the Midwest, utilizing more than 1,200 staff members. You are an avid golfer, husband, father of 5, and Jim, it was one of those guests where we're like, okay, this is an easy tie-in, right? You're not a professional golfer, which we've had on the show. But you love golf. You are the perfect Stick and Hack guest because you're at the intersection of golf and life. You see golf as a game that can not just heal and help and drive and guide, but also as that escape for you, because what you deal with on a daily basis and what your staff and team deal with is heavy stuff.
It is.
And it's necessary work, but golf is that escape for you, but it's also that connector, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. First, though, I do want to ask you that story of Amy. Why does it resonate with all people, golfers or not? That type of heroic moment of parring a hole and with this opportunity to play a hole with PGA professional and then parring it in front of thousands of people. Why does that resonate? Why is that such a hero story for people that see it?
I think it's really rooted in overcoming challenges. I mean, you see it in other sports as well. You see kids playing basketball, or they may have been the trainer, and then they get a chance to play, right? And people like me and others, we can be so blessed in our lives. Our children don't have disabilities. We've had a pretty easy life, and then there's millions of folks, children and adults, that just have severe and very, very difficult challenges in their life. Most of them not to their own choosing. And to see someone that's that kind of joy and overcoming those obstacles, and then, once in a lifetime, that par on that hole, right? I mean, once in a lifetime. So, I mean, how can you not be just tremendously overwhelmed and happy and joyful? We're all used to sometimes, I play with my buddies. I'm like, I kind of hope he misses that putt. But of course. But when you see people overcome challenges, right, and it's just wonderful, and it makes you feel great, and so good for her and good for the world because of that.
And I do want to take a quick detour here. You're the best dressed guest we've ever had.
Oh,
you're in a full suit, sir. I don't know if Shane told you a bad information, but you look great. You look extremely dapper. Mike and I look like we're homeless compared to you. I'm proud that you wore a tie, and you look like literally $1 million. So good for you. I just need to point that out for the listeners. He wore a suit.
Hey.
Now, if you're watching it, you'll know why.
I thought about
he's far better than us.
Yeah, I thought about wearing something golf, right? So you could tell I tried to be a golfer, but I yet to feel as comfortable in the golf attire as I do in this. So I have a lot to go in golf, but I'm doing pretty good in this area. So
you wear a pocket square well, sir. Proud of you.
Jim, you picked up golf later in life, and the easy question is, you avoided it for so long. Why did you start?
Yeah, I remember asking that. Now I can't imagine my life without it. But I didn't pick up a club until I was 26 years old. And that was, a couple of years ago, way more than a couple of years ago. And the weird thing about it is my dad, he was an avid golfer. My father passed away just before I was born, so my mom got married again when I was about 5. And I was big into baseball and basketball. And I think what my dad did, I love him so much, and he still golfs a little bit with me today at the age of 87.
Wow.
I think what he did was he said, hey, I'm going to meet this little kid where he is. And he became my baseball coach, and we traveled around baseball, basketball. And I think now that I look back, he sort of gave up a little bit of his golf for me. And so I'm thankful he did. But yeah, I didn't pick it up till I was 26, and really it was without his influence. So I'm glad I did. I wasn't back then, though.
We talk a lot about the healing power of golf here on Stick and Hack on Air, how it's good for the soul and blah, blah. But there is real scientific research that shows that the power behind something like golf with those with disabilities, it does have a changing effect on the psyche, on their confidence, on all of these things. Walk me through, and the listeners, why that is and what you've seen. We've had people on the show that have surpassed multiple disabilities and mind-blowing. I mean, we had a blind guy who was better at golf than me. Guy couldn't see. Like, what are we talking about? Jim, why is that? How is that?
Yeah, so I'm super proud of the golf program we have here at Damar. And, as being the president and CEO, I can't get involved in as many things as I'd like to, but I continue to be involved in our golf program. And, we see just wonderful things. So at Damar, one of our specialties, or one of the things we focus on, is pretty severe disabilities. So some kids don't have language. Some are yet to be potty trained, and they may be 14 years of age. Some have such uncontrollable behavioral outbursts that they're super challenged. And what we have found is the way that golf works and the way it can be reinforcing is very similar to the way that we train skills in those that we serve. So if you think about it, what we're trying to teach kids is greater skills and better self-regulation. What a better way on a golf course to focus and kind of hone down really helps that. If you think about, some of the best shots are when you slow down, right? And our kids don't slow down much, but in the game of golf, teaching them, hey, actually, that nice, smooth, slower swing, actually, you can generate way more power with that, right? So they're really focused on that. And here's the other thing that I think works even with kids that don't have language is, we all hit these terrible shots in our lives, right? I played yesterday and hit a lot of shots, but I don't really remember the bad shots. I remember especially that 7-iron I hit yesterday from about 165, and I pured it, right? And the reinforcing feel with that is so wonderful that only golf gives that. So what we do is we have that feeling of reinforcement, which means we're more likely to repeat it. And that's really the treatment that we do for our kids is we teach them new skills, we reinforce it, therefore it's more likely to be repeated. And so it's a great kind of, it's just a great integration of the treatment programs that we have. Been a wonderful addition. Smiles, laughs, it's wonderful.
We got Dr. Jim Dalton on the program, President and CEO of Damar Services.
At Damar, you guys are committed to next level services, but more specifically, you guys are connectors. And so how is golf a connector for you guys?
So, Damar, we're a large organization that we ask for and need a lot of support. And golf, local golf, golf outings, we have a golf outing every year. Folks that know that there's some interest in our kids in golf programs, it really brings an interest that we may not have received anywhere else. And so our golf program has gotten a lot of recognition. A lot of our special sports and Special Olympics has done that. And certainly with the business part of Damar, talking to people, getting to know people makes a big difference. And if you really want to know someone, who they are, their ethics and things like that, play around a golf with them. So it's been wonderful for Damar, and I have obviously had some personal reinforcement and gain because I should be way better at golf, but I love golf as much as practically I love anything.
Yeah, and we hear that a lot from those that are in organizations, associations, service industries, people like yourself, that golf is that conduit. And I think that was really the crux of Mike's question is that conduit, that connector. You are connecting services for kids and families with disabilities. But golf is that connector for friendship. Golf is that connector for confidence. Golf is that connector for the kids and the families to be out and not just to receive money for the outings, but to utilize this sport as therapeutic, as a connection of family and love. And that is what is shocking still about golf. In this silly, stupid sport that bothers me more than I love it, brings people together like it does. And you see it every day. And, golf is incredibly difficult as a whole. But then you hear stories of these with disabilities, people with disabilities falling in love with the sport. We've had, as I said, several on the show. We've had somebody who couldn't see. We have had somebody who's been amputated leg just recently, PTSD, all of these things. Does your background allow you to make sense of why golf is such a healing sport? Are you still baffled how golf brings such joy to all walks of life? There's a scientific, side of you, and then there's the human side. Where do you stand there?
Yeah, so I'm a guy that strongly believes that everything is sort of neurochemical, right? And there are a lot of reasons that we all do everything in our life, but for the most part, everything we do feels good, feels better, right? If it didn't feel good, you wouldn't do it very often. Think about the things in your life that feel good. How often do you do them, right? The things that you feel terrible, like paying bills, and how often you do those, right? So I really
never have.
Right,
I haven't paid a bill in 3 years.
Get yourself in trouble. But yeah, we know that especially in young folks, and particularly young males that really have a more incident of developmental disabilities, their brain structure is developing even past the age of 30, right? And some longer than that because of their disabilities, right? And there are studies that demonstrate that the certain kind of experiences that we have, right? It's really biological and social experience, the way that it really makes connections in the brain, right? A lot of folks have missed certain connections, trauma, interferences that way. But not unlike social relationships, not unlike the wonderful kind of experiences you get from reinforcement, that the golf experience, not just that pure hitting the ball in the center of that 6-iron, right? And that feeling that you get, but also it's being outside. It's about the joy of being with each other. It's about seeing others struggle and others. So I really think there is a biochemical, we know that there is, that reinforces that, gives people confidence and gives them greater, we call it self-efficacy. Learning that you can be good at one thing means that you're more likely to try to take the next challenge in your life. And that's how we all got to where we are now, is right. We had something difficult, we overcame it, we go, oh, well, maybe I can try something different. Maybe I can try something different. Maybe I can apply for that job. Maybe I can get into that school. So that's really where I see golf in that little section, especially for individuals with developmental disabilities and autism.
And Jim, there's para golf leagues. There's this entire new kind of up and coming golf associations and leagues for those that want to play. I mean, Mike, forgive me, we've had so many guests. We had one who was in an accident and he was like a 2 handicap, and he had to relearn how to swing, how to stand, how to do all this stuff. And he is now part of the Canadian para golf leagues. Does it bring you a lot of pride to know that this is now becoming, that golf is actually branching out and saying, hey, come, this is your sport. Come here, all walks of life, whatever the challenge, whatever the disability, come here. This is the sport for you to help you get through it. Does that just make your heart melt?
It makes mine melt. And I do think it's a little long overdue. The golf industry and the kind of the individual sport of that and kind of what it was. I do think it's long overdue. But yeah, I am super proud of that. I'm most proud and excited for the folks that we're privileged to serve, that they can participate in that at levels that they never would have dreamed before. So, thanks to golf for, I mean, it's reaching so many more people in a lot of different ways, and disabilities is one of those areas for sure.
Jim, last question. What are some of your favorite golf experiences that you've had the pleasure of being a part of?
Well, I have so many, right?
Oh, good for you, Jim. Good for you. We're all very impressed.
I have three, yeah. They range, right? I mean, I played golf yesterday with three of my very close buddies on a new course that I'm very soon going to be closer to all the time. And that alone, I mean, you can't explain what that is, but all we're doing afterwards is, wasn't that a great day? Wasn't that a great day? Mm-hmm. I'm a guy that's lucky enough that my wife likes to golf. Once a week, she and I will play golf together, and that's pretty great. Awesome. You know, when I hear guys that golf and their wives don't, I always say it is great to have a wife that likes to play golf. I just got back from the Masters. I never thought I'd ever be able to experience the Masters and what that was about, but people ask me how that went, and I'm like, I really can't tell you because I can't explain what it was like for me, because it was really magical. It was almost like it was, I don't know, everything was raw. It was just great. And those are some of the things.
You're right. You can't say it, can you?
Right.
You can't even explain it here on the show.
I mean, even walking into the Masters, walking up to the front gate was life-changing. And then I'll say one other thing, Mike. I have an annual trip that two of my very best friends, we've been going for about 8 years now. We go down to Doral every January, and we play the Blue Monster and all the other courses there. And that is, my life centers around that trip in many ways. So golf's been so wonderful to me. I should be a guy that's a better golfer. I do play a decent amount, and I really don't know why I'm not better. But
well, that's the question
you and everyone else.
Yeah, you're not alone in that, Jim. I can assure you that. And for the record, my wife does golf. She golfs 3 times a year and has beaten me every single time. So that's exciting. Dr. Jim Dalton is the guest, and we're going to come back here in just a second. You got time for America's favorite game, Stick or Hack?
I do.
All right, Dr. Jim Dalton, we're back in a moment. This is Stick and Hack on Air. The Stick and Hack Challenge app is available now for iOS. Now, the Challenge app is like no other golf game out there. It takes the focus off of your final score and instead turns your round into a collection of challenges, objectives, and accomplishments. With more than 90 unique challenges to choose from, you'll never have the same experience twice. And if that's not enough, you can also challenge friends or strangers to see who comes out on top. Plus, with an XP system that rewards your successes, you'll be motivated to keep pushing yourself further. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out with the game, the Stick and Hack Challenge app is the perfect way to add some extra fun to your golf game. All right, we're back here at Stick and Hack on Air on the 8 Side Network powered by iHeartRadio. I'm Adam Grubb. That's Mike Ryan. And we're with Dr. Jim Dalton here, Damar Services. And, Jim, I know that when you book this show, because a lot of people don't know this behind the scenes, people request to be on this program. We haven't reached out to anybody in years, Mike. We get requests every day. Can we be on your show? And Jim was lucky enough to be picked randomly out of a hat, and here he is. But I know that when you wanted to be on the show, you said, as long as I get to play Stick or Hack, I don't care what else happens, okay, we're playing Stick or Hack. And so I didn't really know, this is pretty clear, Mike. I didn't really know because typically we try to bring in the game into the guest, and it makes sense, and there's a tie-in and all that. Not here. Until I saw you, and you look like a man who enjoys a martini. And so this now makes perfect sense. So Stick or Hack, old-timey drinks, okay? Now, these are old-timey drinks. Are they stick or hack? Now, I put the ingredients in some of them because some of these I've never heard of in my life.
I haven't heard of any of these.
Well,
except maybe one of them. Maybe one.
This ought to be fun.
Yeah.
The first one I don't even have how to pronounce. I would bring Shane in to help me here, but we know how that would go. Stick or Hack, old-timey drinks. Jim, you're going to answer first, then Mike, then me, okay? Stick means, yeah, I'm in. Hack means, yeah, not great. Belvedere? A Belvedere? Mr. Belvedere? That's not right. No. Belvedere. Bourbon, sweet vermouth, and Campari. That's Stick or Hack.
I'd say for me, that is becoming more of a stick.
Okay, Mike.
I'm going to go stick with that. And I think it's Boulevardier.
I don't care. Don't big time me like that ever again on
just
the show.
saying.
I'm going to call it hack because I don't like dark liquors. I don't like dark drinks. Pisco sour. So it's a pisco, maybe? Pisco?
I don't even know what Pisco is.
If I say pisco, pisco, lime juice, simple syrup, and egg white. That's the ingredients of a pisco sour.
Anything with sour on it's a hack.
Thank you. Mike?
Yeah, it's got egg white in it. I'm out.
Thank you. Hack indeed. Corpse Reviver. Corpse Reviver. Now, the history of this drink is that in 1920s, it was so strong that it was believed to bring people back from the dead. Corpse Reviver. It's gin, lemon juice, Contraire,
Cointreau.
Dry Vermouth. Yeah, good. Dry Vermouth, Lillet Blanc, and Absinthe. Holy cow.
You know, I just think because of the introduction and the history, I'm going to go stick.
Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with stick just because the name's cool.
Awesome.
You
go
I
into
feel
a
like
bar-
anything with absinthe in it could wake the dead. So
Wake the Dead. Corpse Reviver. I'm going to go to Chili's and order that at the bar, see what happens.
yeah.
All right, French Martini. This is vodka, pineapple juice, and Chambord.
Chambord. He has limited vocabulary.
For me,
No, I drink gin straight. So what the hell are we even talking about? French Martini.
yeah,
Stick or hack,
Martini,
Jim?
I'm a hack. I like other people, but for me, it's a hack.
Okay, Mike.
I'm going hack with that one. Chambord is not my jam.
Is Chambord dark?
It's like a raspberry liqueur, I believe.
Oh, I'm in. Vodka, pineapple juice, and raspberry. I'm in. Stick all day.
I knew you would be.
Martinez. Bartender, Martinez, please. It's gin, sweet vermouth. Do it, Mike.
It's maraschino liqueur.
Maraschino liqueur, and then Angostura bitters. Martinez.
Mike knows a lot about alcohol.
Well,
I do.
He's got a problem.
Yeah,
Probably too
that's a symptom.
It's
right there.
it's ramped up as of late.
I'm going to say that's too complicated for me. I'm going to say hack.
Thank you.
Yeah, sweet vermouth I'm not a fan of, so I'm out. That's hack.
All right, I'm going to call it a stick because it's got gin. It's my favorite
Yeah,
drink.
I knew that's where you were going there.
Pegu Club, gin, triple sec, lime juice. Again, the bitters and orange bitters. Pegu Club, stick or hack.
Yeah, again,
Old-timey drink.
Too many ingredients for me. Hack.
Okay.
I'm gonna go stick on this one. It sounds refreshing.
Feels very refreshing, right?
Sounds refreshing to me. Yeah.
All right, that's the first time Mike's ever disagreed with the guest. So that's we just hit a massive part of the show. I'm going to say stick as well. Hemingway Daiquiri. Hemingway Daiquiri. White rum, grapefruit juice, lime juice, and the maraschino liqueur.
Yeah, daiquiri, hack on daiquiris.
Yeah.
Jim's a very simple man, I
I'm a
feel.
straightforward person.
Despite the pocket square, you're a very
Yeah.
simple man.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think of the Hemingway Daiquiri?
I'm gonna go hack, but I would drink one of these. If I were on a beach, I would definitely drink one of those.
With a pipe in a
Yes.
rowboat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, I'm calling hack. White rum is terrible. Vesper Martini. Now, this is gin, vodka, and Lillet Blanc. Vesper Martini. You can't get much simpler than Jim. We are moving to the simpler drinks here. Stick or hack, old-timey drinks.
Mike have to tell me what the Lillet Blanc is.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
I have
well,
no idea.
Well,
it
Never
is
heard of it.
simpler.
Ask someone at your meeting.
It is simpler, so I will go stick.
Stick. Jim says stick for the Vesper Martini.
I'm out only because it's mixing gin and vodka both, and I don't feel like that's.
I haven't
good one for me.
I haven't made a good decision ever mixing gin and vodka. That is a fact. All right, the last one is called, ironically, The Last Word. It's gin, maraschino liqueur, chartreuse liqueur, and lime juice.
I'm so proud of you that you explained
Thank
that
you.
you pronounce chartreuse.
I've been
Well done.
practicing for an hour before the
Last
show.
one, I actually that sounded not so bad. It's just when you said it, I'll go stick.
I'll go stick with that one. Yeah, I think I'm in with that one.
I didn't realize there were 5 gin drinks here. Maybe I should.
It was definitely subliminal on your part. So I think we should have Jim analyze you on that.
Well, if you think about it, gin was the drink in the 20s, and that's basically when all these drinks were, early 1900s. All right, everybody, that's it. That's Dr. Jim Dalton, and you made it through the sticker hack game. We appreciate your time, Dr. Jim Dalton. Go to damar.org for more information on their incredible organization. You have a big golf tournament coming up in the fall, which Stick and Hack hopes to be a part of, and more. You guys are doing incredible work and have for many, many years. And the healing power of golf, we're so happy that you guys are part of not just golf, but helping as many people as you do, families and those with disabilities. It's incredible work you guys are doing, and we thank you for your time today here on the show. There he goes, everybody. Dr. Jim Dalton. This is the Stick and Hack Show. Stick and Hack on Air, quite possibly the greatest golf show in the world. Go to stickandhack.com to become a free member. Get the Early Teen newsletter or download our Golf Challenge app today to change your golf experience forever. Mike, that's it for us, everybody. You enjoy. Have a great day, a great week, whatever it is whenever the hell you're listening to this. Perhaps have a great weekend. Mike, we'll talk to you later.
Proud of you, buddy.